I reject rotational power as a physical quality and as something that can be trained and improved in any meaningful way. Golfers, tennis, baseball players perform their sport and get thousands upon thousands of reps throwing and swinging. You can't think that doing sets of rotational medicine ball throws is going to provide an adequate training stimulus. Rotational power can't even be quantified in an exercise or training setting. There's angular velocity, which refers to how fast an object rotates relative to another point. There's rotational inertia, which is the property of any object which can be rotated. But what is rotational power? There's just power, and power can be expressed in different ways. If there's rotational power, is there vertical power? Is there horizontal power? If you're a powerful athlete but you can't hit a golf ball far, do you really lack rotational power? Or do you just lack the skill, coordination, and timing of hitting a golf ball? I work with collegiate women's golfers and they can probably all outdrive me, but it would be foolish to say that they're more powerful than I am. And if you attempt to define or quantify rotational power, it would require you to have a fixed point of rotation. When you throw a ball or swing an object, you don't rotate about one fixed joint. When you perform these movements, rotation can occur at the spine, the knees, the pelvis, the ankles, maybe only on one side of the body but not the other. There are varying degrees of rotation at different segments of the body up and down the kinetic chain, various speeds of rotation, various angles of rotation, and all of these different components of rotation while playing a sport are going to be dependent on the environment. Maybe some of these so-called rotational exercises do have value, but if they do, it's likely because they provide some movement variability but still has some semblance to the skill of playing the sport like golf, baseball, or tennis. Variation in movement is usually a good thing, but it's unlikely that you're going to experience any meaningful stimulus that's going to drive neuromuscular adaptations by doing med ball slams, rotational landmine Olympic lifts, pal-off rotations, low to high chops, high to low chops. But these so-called rotational exercises are more different to the sport than they are similar. The neural pathways and motor patterns of exercises like this are very different from throwing a ball and swinging a bat. And you'll improve your outputs of throwing and swinging by just playing your sport. And you'll be better served using training time to do other athletic things with high outputs and impulses such as sprinting and jumping, and doing things in the weight room that are more repeatable. Outcomes of sporting actions, regardless of what you're doing, are still heavily reliant upon ground reaction forces and peak force and rate of force and direction of force. So spend your time wisely when selecting exercises.